আমাকে কিও না মারিলি আমাকে মারিব লাগিছিলে
This was a really very shocking incident for us because a child is murdered.
The first time we met the kids, we didn't even know that it is a possibility that the kids are involved into it.
Today we have seen that an 8-year-old has committed an offence. Tomorrow probably a 6-year-old would commit an offence.
The environment is full of bad and good things.
For this child to have free access to pornography at this stage, that itself is a very big factor.
I think it is time for us to run behind the crime itself.
हम लड़की बिना हम इतना भात नहीं खाई सकता हारौरी के कहब गुआ मुते पा पैसू मैं रात रात भर जागी पला याद
Kantalata is inconsolable ever since she found out about the murder of her granddaughter, who was just 6 years old. The dead body of the child was found in the toilet of a stone crusher plant. A chilling murder that has shaken everyone in this small community in Assam. The most shocking part of this murder is that it was allegedly committed by 3 minor boys aged between 8 and 11 years. According to the police, she was brutally killed in broad daylight for refusing to reenact scenes from porn films with them.
The 6-year-old girl was forcefully brought through this way by 3 other kids who are not much older than herself. She had already been hit with a stone on her head by now and was bleeding from her head. This is the spot where she was brought and was hit with a stone once again on her head and chest. Blood stains can still be seen on the floor. The Nagaon police termed the 3 minor boys as porn addicts. This is an attempt to figure out what circumstances might have actually led these 3 young boys to commit this brutal crime knowingly or unknowingly. It is also an attempt to examine the impact of uncontrolled and unmonitored smartphones and internet on the lives of young children.
This was a really very shocking incident for us because a child is murdered and that too near her home, and there was no any motive behind. We are clueless. So Honorable SP Nagaon sir, he himself visited the PO and we decided that we need to crack this case.
মই আপোনাৰ বাইৰত অকণমান কোৰ মাৰিলোঁ কোৰ মাৰি পেলাই মানে শাক চাক লগাম বুলি কোৰ চোৰ মাৰি পেলাই আহি বহিছিলোঁহে ঘৰত তেনেকুৱাতে সৰু ল'ৰা 3টা আহি মানে সেই দোকানখনৰ পৰা মোক চিঞৰি পেলাই ক'লে এনেকৈ তেনেকৈ আপোনালোকৰ ঘৰৰ ছোৱালীজনী সেইটাত পৰি আছে মই তাৰপিছত আপোনাৰ মই গ'লোঁ সেই দোকানৰ ঘৰৰ মানুহ ঘৰ গ'ল আমাৰ মা গ'ল আমি গোটেই সোপাই গৈ চালোঁ মানে লেট্ৰিনৰ ভিতৰত পৰি থাকোঁতে আৰু তাৰপৰাই আৰু চবেই ক'লে কোলাত ল উঠাই লৈ আহ মই কোলাত লৈ পেলাই লৈ আহিলোঁ লৈ আহোঁতে মূৰত অকণমান পানী দিলে পানী দিয়াৰ পিছত আকৌ আমাক ক'লে বোলে হেৰিলৈ লৈ যাওঁ বোলে হস্পিটাললৈ
It was indeed the 3 boys who alerted the neighborhood about the girl's body lying inside the toilet. The hospital authorities declared her dead by the time she was brought in. The 6-year-old had lost her mother barely 9 months ago. She was close to her grandmother and would often visit her house in the same neighborhood. On the afternoon of October 18, she was on her way to her grandmother's house, minutes before she was murdered.
Have you ever come across a case like this?
No, never. And I don't want to come across a case like this. This was a very dangerous case. It was first time in my life. Like as I told you, like the first time we met the kids, we didn't even know that it is a possibility that the kids are involved into it. We took it on the face value, it is just impossible. What we were trying to gather out of the kids was just clues, that if they can drop some clues for our investigation.
The father of one of the juveniles worked as a watchman in the stone crusher plant. So The police called him for questioning.
We visited the site, we searched the site, and then there was some CCTVs were working in the crusher, but the footage was not very clear regarding this incident. So we started searching all the loopholes. Then probably from some nearby local people, we knew that though the crusher was not functional, but there was a watchman out there, and his house was just opposite of the crusher, and he's the next door neighbor of the victim. So we natural process, we started questioning him, we detained him for some time, and that time he denied that during that particular period of time between 2 to 3 o'clock he was not present in the crusher. So that was also a very disappointing matter for us that he was not present then. Initially the father was reluctant, but when we told that probably you are going to be arrested and we'll send you to jail, then he confessed for the first time that probably my child may be involved. And then when he confessed that his child may be involved, then we asked why, then he said that probably the juvenile that has been apprehended was involved in some compromising acts with his own stepsister some months back. So that was a very disgusting thing for us, but then we probably found that this is the first clue, probably we can capitalize on it. And then when we started questioning the child, then he started to, his courage or his confidence began to began shattering.
I was myself fooled by them. You know, I was talking to them with the same thing, like they are kids and they have to be handled very carefully and very sensitively. And I was talking to them, I was like, making them feel very comfortable, making one of them sit in my lap, like on my chair, like making them sit, okay, offering them food, offering them chocolates. So everything possible we did, and trying to find out what was the truth. But they completely clearly, they were very, very, very clever. They fooled me in the first time though. But only after when we started getting clues and when we saw this details in the mobile phone and we got the statement of his father, when we started questioning and countering by confronting him with evidence, then only the person started speaking. It was not easy to confront the kids.
Shocking, brutal, spine-chilling. Victim, an innocent child. Accused, children who lost their innocence early. How could children so young and impressionable commit such a heinous crime? We spoke to experts to understand.
Just the onset of adolescence, we all know that is a very crucial stage, that is a transitional stage for everyone. And in this case, for this child to have free access to pornography at this stage, where he understands some things but he doesn't have the maturity to understand it all, I think that itself is a very big factor in this case.
Child rights activist Miguel Dasque also points at internet and easy access to porn for the rise in such crimes.
In a perfect situation where children should be learning about sex and sexuality from schools and from parents, they are learning it from pornographic movies. And we all know how pornography movies are steeped in gender-based violence, objectify women, and that is where children are having their sex education from, right? So it is absolutely problematic, and I think it is absolutely necessary for all of us in the civil society at the state level to start having conversations and dialogues around these issues that are actually motivating or compelling children to come in conflict with their law, rather than just blaming children, because how long can we stretch the blame game? Today we have seen that an 8-year-old has committed an offense. Tomorrow probably a 6-year-old would commit an offense. But we have to look into the larger issues of violence that is so prevalent in homes, in schools, in our relationships, on social media. And sexual violence is just a subset of the larger context of violence that children are growing basically in today's day and age.
I would like to comment about the nature and the nurture of the perspective by the eminent psychologist Francis Galton, where he said about the nature. Nature is where the genes and the hereditary factors plays an important role, and the nurture is about the social and the upbringing surrounding which the child is in. So in this case of Nagaon, the horrific incident in Nagaon, I think both the nature and the nurture played an important role. the observation of the child can be one of the factors, but one of the factors also that the child, how he's responding, how much he learns from it, what he's learning, because environment is full of bad and good things, which he's taking up, that depends.
Studies have often linked criminal tendencies in juveniles to illiteracy and parental neglect in childhood. However, data as per the National Crime Records Bureau says otherwise. As per NCRB, in Assam, in 18% of the 2,500 cases of juvenile crime reported between 2014 to 2020, the apprehended juveniles were illiterate. In 41% cases, the juveniles had attained education up to primary level. In 37% of these cases, the juveniles had attained secondary level education, and in only 2% cases, the apprehended juveniles had attained education till higher secondary or above. The data also reveals that from 2017 to 2020, theft constituted the highest number of juvenile crimes. 202 cases of theft were reported in this period, followed by 81 cases of kidnapping and abduction, 71 cases of burglary, 36 cases of rape, and 22 cases of murder. In the present case, all three juveniles went to school. The oldest of the three, an 11-year-old who attended class 6 at an English medium school, was given a mobile phone to attend the classes online because of the pandemic and lockdowns.
Be more focused on the context that actually is compelling little children as young as 8 and 11 years old to commit such heinous offenses like rape and murder, while we would like as much to run behind the children who committed that crime. I think it is time for us to run behind the crime itself, of what exactly is compelling such little children to commit such heinous acts of violence.
সাধাৰণতে আমি অবজাৰ্ভ কৰিছোঁ এই যে বেছিভাগ কেছ আহে একদম ভিতৰুৱা গ্ৰামাঞ্চল বুলি যিটো কওঁ চৰ এৰিয়া, মানে চৰ এৰিয়া, গ্ৰামাঞ্চল এৰিয়া, বস্তি এলেকা, য'ত পঢ়া শুনাৰ তেনেকুৱা কোনো ভাল পৰিৱেশ নাই বা সামাজিক যিটো বাতাবৰণ সেইটো খুব এটা উন্নত নহয়, সেই বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ডৰ পৰাই আৰু আৰ্থিক বেছিভাগেই মানে আৰ্থিক দুৰৱস্থা মানে তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ফেমিলিৰ পৰা আহে। আৰু আমি যিটো কওঁ ব্ৰকেন ফেমিলি, কাৰণ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীৰ মানসিকতাত প্ৰধান কথা হ'ল ঘৰখন। ব্ৰকেন ফেমিলি, হাজবেণ্ড ৱাইফৰ মাজত ৰিলেশ্যন ভাল নহয়, ডিভ'ৰ্চ ধৰকচোন, ডিভ'ৰ্চ হৈছে মাক বাপেকৰ, তেতিয়া ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকে ইম'চনেলি বিৰাট অসহায় অনুভৱ কৰে, মেণ্টেল ইম'চনেলি সিহঁতে ভাঙি পৰে, প্ৰকাশ কৰিব নাজানে সেইটো বেলেগ কথা, তেওঁলোক ভাঙি পৰে। কেনেকুৱা লগ সমনীয়াৰ লগত সিহঁতে উঠা বহা কৰে, স্কুলত কেনেকুৱা, গতিকে বহুতকেইটা দিশ ইয়াত জড়িত হৈ আছে।
He is what, 11 years old? At this age, he is not a child. At the same time, we cannot consider him as an adult, right? So at this stage, usually children, they try to create an identity of their own, and that is why they disassociate from society. They don't follow the norms and the rules that are there in the family or in the society, and they start taking decisions on their own. And again, due to the lack of maturity, the decisions can be wrong.
According to Section 83 of the Indian Penal Code, nothing is considered an offence when committed by a child above 7 years of age and under 12, who has not attained sufficient maturity or understanding to judge the nature and consequences of his conduct on that occasion. Under the Juvenile Justice Act, the police have to produce the juveniles accused of a crime before the Juvenile Justice Board within 24 hours. The aim of the board is to hold a child culpable for their criminal activity through counseling to understand their actions. Under ideal circumstances, the board should resolve a case within a period of 4 months.
বস্তুটোতো মাৰ্ডাৰ, এইটোতো মাৰিয়ে পেলাইছে নহয় জানো? মাৰ্ডাৰ হ'লেও সিহঁত বয়সকেইটা বহুত কম, গতিকে সেই কনচিকুৱেঞ্চটো সেইটো আপুনি এতিয়াই কৈ দিব নোৱাৰে, কাৰণ বহুত বহুত বস্তু চালি জাৰি চাব লাগে, বহুত বস্তু চালি জাৰি চাব লাগে। গতিকে কোৱাৰ লগে লগে কেছটো ছেটেল হ'ব, প্ৰুভ হ'ব, হেৰি হ'ব, সেইটো নহয়। জেনেৰেল বিচাৰ প্ৰক্ৰিয়া ইয়াতো চলে, এডাল্টৰো চলে, ইয়াতো চলে। খালি ইয়াত যিটো পানিছমেণ্ট, সেই পানিছমেণ্টৰ প্ৰচেছটো বহুত বেলেগ, এডাল্টতকৈ বহুত বেলেগ। আৰু যিমান পাৰে আমি লিবাৰেল হ'ব চেষ্টা কৰোঁ, কাৰণ সিহঁত এডাল্ট নহয়, বাচ্চা হয়। এটা ৱৰ্ড, এটা চেণ্টেঞ্চ কোৱা যায়, নট এ মিনিয়েচাৰ এডাল্ট, এ চাইল্ড ইজ নট এ মিনিয়েচাৰ এডাল্ট। এজন পূৰ্ণাংগ ব্যক্তিৰ সৰু সংস্কৰণ বাচ্চা নহয়। বাচ্চাৰ চাইক'লজি, বাচ্চাৰ ইম'চন কমপ্লিট এটা বেলেগ ফেক্টৰ।
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.